Coming up in this video, I'm going to be running through some essential interior detailing tools that I think you guys should carry in your kit bag if you are working, if you own, or if you generally have to deal with any particularly delicate interior trim pieces or anything that's particularly susceptible to marking, marring, swirling, or anything that unsightly that you may have to fix in the future. So this car is new to the channel, new to the family. It was a perfect host for this video topic, given that it had a wide range of textured and smooth plastic interior trim pieces, a lot of gloss white, some gloss black, and just a general all-round good test bed for what we're going to use today. So products used, I'll go through the list first, and then as they come out, I'll go through the reasons why they were chosen. So I'm using the Bright Max Interior Duo, interior dressing and interior cleaner. Work Stuff albino brushes, the Clin Korea bubble towel, and the WoWo all-purpose red microfiber towel as well. So steps are these usual ones to start. You're going to clean out the general debris, vacuum down the surfaces. In terms of vacuuming, you either want to keep your vacuum at a distance or use the brush attachment, but obviously, you know, that's a step that you need to take care with. I'm going to zoom past that and straight into using these tools. So let's start with these. First tip I would give you guys is this. I always apply the cleaning solution that I'm using to both the panel, but also into the brush as well. Now the reason for that, and one of the reasons I was using the Bright Max dedicated interior cleaner for this, is it has a slight soapy slippiness to it. And by adding that into the brush as well, any area that is potentially prone to any marking, any additional lubrication for that brush is going to have a positive benefit, no matter how small a percentage increase in potentially not marking that surface. So it's a good tip. It's one that I'd urge you guys to get into the habit of if you're not doing it already. Think about it like cleaning the outside of the car. Any extra lubricity from, say, a car shampoo is going to stop you marring the paint. Stands to reason internally, you're not going to be drenching panels, but if you can apply the cleaner into both the area to be cleaned and the wash media, it's going to help you. The reason that I chose the albinos and I recommend them to you guys is this. The nature of the albino brush is a very soft and fine synthetic bristle, so it will deal with chemicals going into it really, really well. The nature of the bristle that they're using is it is very soft, it is very fine, and it's delicate because of that. But the bristle itself in its length has a certain amount of residual strength. So as you put some pressure down onto the bristle, it doesn't just collapse away from you. Like, for example, I do use for certain instances some makeup brushes. I think they're perfect for certain job types, but you can't put any weight on them because you just flatten straight through the bristle. Now with the albinos, they are the perfect mix between delicate with just enough strength in that bristle to clean and get into the textured plastics, the dirt, the things like that, and I highly recommend them for that purpose. They're available in 4 sizes. So if you was to call 1, 2, 3, and 4, with 1 being the smallest, 4 being the biggest, I'm showing number 1 and number 3 in this video. The biggest one for me, in my opinion, is actually too big for most purposes. If you're buying the set and you want all 4, go for it. For me, for my money, I would recommend buying 1, 2, and 3. If you just wanted to buy 2 of those, then number 1, number 3 would be ideal. Just depends really on what your budget is. In the UK, they don't have a UK-based reseller, but Work Stuff will sell to you directly. Reach out to them on Facebook or Instagram and they will tell you exactly how. Same as with me, and they'll ship them to you direct. The towel that I'm removing everything with, like I already mentioned at the beginning, is the Clin towel. This one was supplied to me by XL Detailing Supplies, who are the UK-based reseller for Clin. The reason I use it is this. The nature of the towel, it does have a great amount of absorbency to it. So once the cleaner has been agitated and I've fetched the dirt out from the panel, I want it to be absorbed and taken away from that panel as safely as possible, and the bubble towel facilitates that really, really well. It does absorb a lot of dirt, it holds it, I don't find I'm smearing it around. And equally, the nature of the towel itself with the looped type construction, it doesn't grab, it's not scratchy, it doesn't have any sort of additional risk to it imparted where I think it's going to cause additional marring to those delicate areas. Again, a really quality towel from the Klin stable. It does exactly what you'd want it to. There is a good amount of durability in them as well. The fact you can wash them, clean them out is perfect. The Bright Max Cleaner and the Bright Max Interior Dress. So like I already mentioned, the Bright Max Interior Cleaner has a certain amount of like a soapy slippiness to it, which is great. It's perfect for this job. It's also a very versatile cleaner, so you can use it on both plastics and leather. I find in that it adds to a certain level of safety that I'm not having to sort of grab for different bottles of chemicals. This is a minor shortcut in terms of speed and convenience. It's not, a difficult thing to have multiple bottles there. I would agree with you, but it's nice to have a product that will work with both purposes. And I've never really found any issues with any leathers that I've cleaned it with. Like with any manufacturer, they do advise just a little bit of caution with certain leather types. But if you do own a particularly delicate type of leather, you know from owning it that it is going to be potentially a hazardous type of leather to clean, in which case research what is the optimum cleaner for that. But with most of these surface coloured leathers, the Bright Max will do a fantastic job. After all cleaned and done, get your Bright Max interior dressing, and this is the Wowo towel. Now this is, again, another small tip. In terms of dressing to finish, a lot of us view it like a waxing thing. It's just an additional step just to finish that completed look. And I'm with you, 100% yes, I agree. The look, the finish of that interior dress is very subjective, granted, but it is a big part of just finishing the interior well. A thing to consider is this: does it offer any type of protection? Now that can be measured in different ways. The reason I reach for the Bright Max one is it does have an anti-static property to it as well. Now, no matter how small the improvement, it's an improvement just the same. By not having as much dust build up, I'm going to have less dust to remove. So potentially less risk of imparting any marring or swirling to these delicate trim pieces. And equally speaking, if it is keeping at bay to an extent the dust buildup as well, potentially you're going to have to clean it just that little bit less often. So again, any improvement on not having to contact these areas, as Jim White of White Details always says, any contact is bad contact. So let's try and minimize it. The reason I use the Wowo towel is it is perfect for this type of job role. So again, a closed loop type of construction similar to the Klin, just a very small, finer version of that. It will hold and distribute the dressing perfectly without me having to go and chase it and scrub it in. And again, really just use it to minimize the amount of surface contact that I'm going to have with some of these areas. So that's it in a nutshell. In terms of the tools used, to recap, the Work Stuff Albino brushes, I'll drop the links below. The Klin available from XL Detailing Supplies. Wowo, you can buy that directly from them. And the Bright Max Interior Duo from Bright Max Direct. I'll put the link below for those as well. Small tips, simple tips in this one for sure. But I think they're key, simple tips just to keep in mind as well. Any interior plastic that does get marred is a git to put right, particularly some of the really delicate and fiddly areas. It's going to be very difficult to get all but the very finest polishes onto that. So it can be sometimes the type of thing where once damaged, you're up a creek, without a paddle, so to speak. So although some of these may seem simplistic, if you're not doing them already, I'd encourage you to try and adopt some of these practices. If you have any questions, queries, comments, as always, ask me below. I do try and answer as many, if not all of them, where I possibly can. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Be sure, if you've liked this video, to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Tick the bell notification and you'll find out when the next video drops. And I'll catch you again soon for future videos. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.